story. There was the Rebbe of Rimanov. The Rebbe of Rimanov. Rimanov was a city, I guess, in somewhere in Europe. Maybe it was in Poland, could be. Anyway, so they got news that the Polish army was going to establish a garrison in the city of Rimanov, in the Jewish sector of Rimanov, which that meant pretty much destruction for the city. The soldiers would come and they would, take over the houses, and what could they do? They didn't know what to do, that they were going to come. It didn't seem any way that they could avoid the situation. So they made a big meeting of all of the honorable people, and the Rebbe of Rimanov, a holy man, he was there also. So someone stood up and said, listen, I happen to know how the army works. The main thing of an army is they have to have a house, a building that's big enough and strong enough to put all their weapons in, and their gunpowder and all their cannons and things like that. That's the main thing of an army. The main thing of an army is their weapons and their gunpowder and their ammunition. And they have to have a strong. We don't have such a big building in the Jewish section. There's no big building. The biggest building we have is the synagogue. And the synagogue is in terrible disrepair, and the walls are all, crumbling, and anybody could break in there, no problem. And so for sure they'll come and inspect the Jewish section, and they won't find a big enough building, and they'll leave. They won't want this place. So the Rebbe of Rimanov stood up, and he said, we have to immediately fix up the synagogue. We have to strengthen the walls. We have to change the floor. We have to make it strong, that it will be foolproof. We have to strengthen the doors, especially in the windows, so nobody can break in. And the people didn't know that's exactly the opposite of what the advice that was just given. And the Rebbe, so no one dared to stand up and say, Rebbe, we just explained the opposite. Everybody knew what the Rebbe said. Okay, but the Rebbe said that that's what they had to do. So that's what they did. And they, some people sort of protested, and a little bit to one to the other, but the Rebbe was, unquestionable. So they fixed up the whole place. They worked on it day and night, and they strengthened the walls, and they changed the doors, and they changed the windows, and they changed the floor, and they fixed the whole thing up. So it was really a strong place. You could really, house guns and things like that. And they came in, and the army sent one of their officers to look at the place, and he looked around, and he looked at the synagogue, and he said, we're not going to go in. And he left. They didn't come in. And so they went to the Rebbe, said it was a big miracle. So the Rebbe said, yeah, I guess you can say it was a miracle, but the fact that the matter is, it wasn't a miracle. If we would not have fixed up the synagogue, they would have put their guns in it, and they would have fixed it up themselves, and they would be here permanently. Who knows how long? Maybe forever. But I saw that the whole reason that they even considered coming here was because we neglected our synagogue. Our synagogue was just in bad shape because we neglected it. And that's the whole reason that it even came in their mind to come here. Therefore, I told you the only way to avoid tragedy is we have to fix up the cause of the tragedy, that we abandoned our synagogue to the forces of nature. We had to fix it up. It's supposed to be the nicest building in the town, the synagogue. As soon as we fix that up, then the whole cause for them even wanting to stay in our town was removed, which comes to show that take care of things spiritually, do your job, and God will do his job. Have a good day with Mashiach now.